All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
Here we go. Welcome to the 108th episode of Drinking Partners, the podcast. My name's Jared. I'm hosting for Ed, who is not with us right now. But we got Day across. He's the regular host. Day, say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? I am your other hosting tandem, Dave Bracey, and you're listening to Drinking Partners. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. Yeah, Ed Bailey, the other half is he's down. It was nice. We got to see him last night. He showed up to our just a surprise. Just happened to just walk in, just strolled in the middle of our show yesterday down at Compton Theater. Shout out to Compton Theater for having us. All the comics that were on down there: T. Robe, Tim Ross, Blair Parker, Lorenzo DeSilvio, Osha Dwyer, David Bielowicz, on the music. Dom Shuck on the ones and twos. It was a great night, and it was just a hell of a surprise to see, Ed out, walking healthy. Still had his wits about him and whatnot. So, he's not 100 yet, but he's on his way.
He'll get there. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah. So shout out to Ed. He will be he'll be back at some point. Today we got Jared Evans in the building, man, from Grownup Human Comic People, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it's an honor to be.
Episode 98.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got kind of tuned up then. And I expect this will be more of the same.
If you guys haven't heard that episode, man, go back and listen to that. It was an amazing time. They brought you brought the Weyerbacher.
Oh yeah, we got two quads. And then a Dogfish 120.
That Dogfish one, it was aged too.
From 2009, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. If you know us and you know how we do things, just listen to how we do things with these grown-up human comic people with fucking quads and aged 120s. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is not safe for women.
Yeah, that episode is not a girlfriend also episode. We went off on. We went right into masturbation.
It was it was a bunch of grown men talking about comic books and beer.
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Yeah, the first thing we did was talk about masturbation. Immediately. So how you guys doing? Well, I jerk off sometimes.
Yeah. I think I'm good. I'm good for the next couple of hours.
Yeah, you got to do it before you go out every time. You make bad decisions.
you gotta when you leave the house, you gotta base it on your last masturbation. It's kind of like your phone charge. You know what I mean?
Instead of the battery going down, it fills up, and once it starts getting full, you got to go back home.
I might be a little late.
You just start looking sideways at people. You guys know it exactly.
So yeah, episode 98, man. Check that out, and they are part of the Epicast family. So
yeah.
Check them out on Epicast. Man, where the rundown. We usually have a rundown here.
Oh, yeah, tell them where to find us.
Again, if you're looking for us, you can find us at epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play. Under Drinking Partners, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher. No, I did that one. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod, man. 108 episodes. We've been asking you.
It's the Cal Ripken episode.
Yeah, the Cal Ripken episode. Yeah, because we keep going and going and going. That's shout out to Ed. He gave us that one because that's what he does, and that's what we do. So we keep it going and whatnot. And please, 108 episodes we've been asking, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we continue to do well, and that's how we let others know that we're doing well. So please, hop on iTunes, rate and review. And if you do, we might read your review on air.
Yeah, we got one right here. This one says, Epicast has been killing it. Craft beer and comedy with two comedians. It's refreshing and entertaining to hear about beer from this perspective. Great guest lineup, too. And that's from Buzz and Nick.
Very unbiased reporting. Fair and balanced. No fake news there.
And that's why I chose that one, because it was...
Well, thank you, Buzz and Nick, wherever you may be.
Yeah. So thank you for listening, and keep listening.
Please.
Hopefully you'll come by sometime.
We appreciate your support. Oh, man. So, yeah, rate and review, man.
Also check out Grownup Human Comic People also on Epicast. You go to epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. You can go to grownuphumans.com. We got, we have little profiles of everybody on the podcast. Check out Southside Comics down in the Southside. It's 1931 East Carson Street. We cast out of there. Sometimes we cast out of my house, depending on how drunk we want to get. So
that's the media podcast, man. Just wherever.
Yeah, totally. But check that out too. So,
and for those, if you haven't tuned in to episode 98, all about comics, man. And I mean, these guys are some hilarious guys and gals. I had the fortune of being, down there, one of the episodes and whatnot, and the conversation is just absolutely ridiculous. It starts in a place of comic books, and then it just, it just goes places.
When we were with you guys, we didn't even get to comic books at all.
I think we talked briefly, and then we just went back to masturbation.
Yeah, that's mostly
how it went. But check these guys out, man. They're fucking hilarious. If you fucks with us, fucks with them. I mean, because they are the family. We got bills to pay, so Hoop Chat. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not, but Hoop Chat, it's an app that you download, right? And they charge you $1 if you use the code DrinkPod, right? So it's $1 to download this app. You use the code DrinkPod, and you get 30 drinks. One drink a day for 30 days. So that's 30 free drinks for $1.
That's a good deal.
That's not bad. I'm not, shit. I've spent worse dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So use the code DrinkPod. You get the app for $1, 30 free drinks, and it's available on iTunes and Google Play, and available in Pittsburgh.
Get it right. Don't fuck it up.
Now,
no pressure.
I've been trying to figure this fucking thing out for quite some time, and I got a message from Reed Vertisoto. I hope I said that right. I don't even think he didn't tell me that. He didn't tell me how to say his name.
Well, that's what a motherfucker gets for correcting you and not telling you how to say his name.
But he did leave me like this voice note. Hold on, let me play this shit.
Damn it, Day, it's Grop-aria. Grop-aria. It cracks me up every single time you screw it up.
So it's Grop-aria. If you're in Pittsburgh and you want to use the Who Chat, go down to Grop-aria. It's in Lawrenceville. It's part of Piccolo Forno. Love that. It's a nice little Italian spot or whatever. Apparently, he sent me a list.
Grappa is it's a liquor made from like the leftover when they make wine. They take the skins and all that kind of shit, all the kind of the dregs, and they make liquor out of it. And it's an interesting liquor.
There it is. So if you're in Pittsburgh, download the Hooch app and show up to Grop-aria every day for 30 days. You know what I mean?
Did the same 5 motherfuckers in there every day for a month.
Best dollar you ever spent.
They just go in there. They don't tip. They just have their one glass of grappa and they leave.
Take napkins with them. These are free, right?
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
That's true.
Where's your bathroom?
But it's all around the country. Miami, Los Angeles, Dallas, Austin, New Jersey, Phoenix, San Diego. They support the podcast. Support them, and support your liver. Also, Epicast. I don't know if you're listening or not. I mean, but if you are. This podcast sounds smooth and it sounds crisp because of all the hard work that goes into behind the scenes. It is a lot of hard work, and we owe that to Epicast, man. Like, they keep this whole thing going. All those beautiful photos you see, all the the online presence. Like, people come to, they're like, I want to start a podcast. Like, how do I this? And I'm like, look, man, I just show up and get fucked up.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, I show up, I get fucked up, and then Epicast does everything else. So if you are looking, you got some media media needs, you want to like pimp your shit out, photos and engineering and
there's a green screener I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, I mean you got the green screen, you got the big lights or whatever. I feel like a star.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, but if you want to feel like a star, holla at Epicast, man. That's the family.
If you get a new car and you're feeling like a star, what you gonna do? Goes right in.
That jacket is so super sweet. You got to get a picture of that jacket. That is absolutely insane.
Well, you gotta get the because you got Spangler on the side here.
Yeah.
For those of you who can't see us,
check it out. So you'll see the pictures, man. If you guys have been listening to this podcast and you don't know we have a fucking picture, like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, some of them show up on when you bring it up on your phone. It'll like the picture's on there. Yeah.
I'm completely illiterate when it comes to these things, dude.
Dude, I'm not much better. Trust me. I don't produce our podcast. Trust me. That's Jared's job.
Nice.
Although I would like him to come to. I'd like Buzzy to come in to take the picture sometime because like your guys' pictures look way better than ours.
He makes it look so much cooler than what it really is.
Yeah.
Like it's never as cool as it. You know what I mean? But like the angles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We look like we're hanging out in like I don't even know what this means. It makes this room look so cool.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's like a Studio 54 kind of a vibe. They've got like the little like I don't know, but it looks super dope.
Right, and it is that dope, and we're not going to ruin that image by talking otherwise.
Until they hear in episode 98, and then it's all out the. It's all our cool points are out the window. We 108 episodes in, we can't lie anymore. Like
you must know what it is.
If you peel back the curtain, we've got events coming up. It's crazy because we do podcasting, but we also do live events. Mm-hmm. It is crazy. So we have. On March 24th and 25th, we have the Growing Roots for a Healthy Community by Farm to Table. That's March 24th to 25th. It's focusing on local food. It'll have 150 local food exhibitors, cooking demonstrations, expert presentations, and a mind-body connection. Basically, if you want to eat healthy, you want to eat local, and you want to do it affordably and sustainably, then come down to the David L. Convention Center, March 24th to 25th. You can buy your tickets online at farmtotable.pa.com, and if you use the code DRINKS, you get 20% off of all the tickets. There's going to be some booze in the building. I mean, some booze and food pairings and whatnot. A little sipping, a little bit of eating, a little education. Get your mind, body, and soul right, and do it economically, and do it for 20% less when you drop that code DRINKS. We will also be on the 25th. We'll be down at Brouhaha. In Moon Township. We'll be doing a live podcast down there. There will be about 5 breweries. It's a charitable event, for parks and recreation out there, and it's always a good cause. Get fucked up and help the environment.
So you got 2 events on the same day.
Yeah. We get a little busy at times.
Get Uber all around.
Thank you, DDs. You are the real heroes. You give them some capes. And then we have March 18th. We have the benefit gathering for Ed Bailey, co-host. If you listen to this, I hope you know who the fuck he is. He went down or whatever. He has medical expenses, and what better way to get him back on his feet through laughter and booze, because that's what it's what got us here, and that's what'll keep us going. So
we'll be there too. I think at least I think all the humans will be there too. We actually just shouted that's the event on ours yesterday. We did the podcast yesterday.
We appreciate that,
of course.
March 18th, it'll be down at the Hideout in Point Breeze, right across the street from the co-op, Baron Batch's Hideout. We will have Bill Crawford will be doing a half-hour comedy. There will be music from Mill Groves Crossing. That's a band. DJ Dom Shuck will be on the 1s and 2s. We will have food provided by Studio AM. And we will also have auction items. And the stars of the shows, we will have Full Pint, Voodoo, Hitchhiker, Rock Bottom, Steel City Beer, Green Flash, Rheingeist, and Alpine Beer, all given the booze for a good cause. So there are only 90 tickets, I think, available, maybe 80 tickets left. Super small, little event or whatever. Maybe 80 tickets left online. You can find those at purplepass.com/BaileyFund. They're $20, $25 at the door. I don't believe there will be any at the door, so get them before they're gone and come thirsty.
Yeah, we're going to bring by. We just got them made. We have some some tumblers, some like whiskey tumblers with our logo on them. But we're gonna give you guys some to so you can do with them. You can sell them or auction or whatever.
Auction items.
Yeah,
nice.
you can check. And we're also gonna try and get a mold of Chris's penis. And we
got to bring buckets for the money.
Oh yeah, well,
the money that will be thrown at that.
We went kind of off the rails yesterday. We determined that for every $150 someone donates to Ed's family, we will send one mold of Chris's penis to Ed. So we'll get the money and the penises. So.
Oh man, I wish my dick was that worth that much.
Oh, Chris's dick is not worth that much. Let's not get crazy. That's ridiculous.
It's only $150, people. I mean,
yeah, it's $150.
And it's going for a good cause.
Yeah, good cause. He had a dick. So there you go.
For Ed and your libido. You got some events coming up?
Yeah. Actually, on the 25th, we're going to be at Ace Hotel. So, if you're listening, you must choose. No, I'm just kidding. If you happen to be by Ace Hotel, there's a Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Con. It's a convention with a bunch of cool like old games and stuff. You can go there, drink, get fucked up, play some old video games. If you buy a ticket, I think you get entered into a raffle for like a bunch of stuff. But don't do all the events on the 25th. Don't go to one. Just go to.
I mean, that's the beauty of Pittsburgh and these events is that like they're everywhere, and you just go. Whatever you're doing, go to one of them. You like fucking comic books and video games and shit, go to that. If you like to eat well, go to that. If you just want to fucking get fucked up and laugh, and go to that. Like, I mean, that's the beauty of the city and the arts and the scene. It's just there's so much to do. I mean, I remember growing up here or whatever. People, there's nothing to do. There's never anything to do
all the
around
time.
town.
People,
it was all it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, there wasn't for quite some time, and now
we're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, like this is a great time to be Pittsburgher.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the cool thing is once you start to go to these things, like, you're out at stuff all the time. I try to go out to stuff all the time. Once you start seeing, the scene really is a scene. Like, you start seeing, it almost reminds, like, I mean, I wasn't alive in the 70s, but I imagine, like, in New York, whenever people go to, like, CBGB or so, like, they had, like, this scene, and they saw all the same people. It's like, all the same bands, all the same whatever. And, like, once you get in that scene, it's so cool because it's like a big family. It's really cool.
No, it's absolutely amazing, man. I mean, you do see the same people, and that this whole thing with Ed or whatever, like going down, such a heavy outpour of folks, that were just like, hey, like we heard this was going on. What can we do to help? And it was overwhelming and it was very touching. It was an emotional thing. I don't like emotions, but it was an emotional thing or whatever. But I mean that just is a testament to the strength of the scene. I mean of people that are doing good things for the city, and looking out for each other. It's not just that whole greedy grabbing. Just everybody out for themselves. Like we all it's that importance. That's what we do with this podcast. Is we highlight local, small, and artists. I mean, like and that's what we do. That's what we build, and that's what we continue to do. And we appreciate all the love that we've been shown throughout it.
Oh, and a little while ago, we had a surprise birthday party for one of my co-hosts, Dan, and you showed up. Thank you for coming.
That party was. And then Ricky Salvage walked in the building.
Rick Seaback showed up.
Rick Seaback just like walked in like, hey. I was like, what the fuck are you like? And it was like a clashing of worlds because, like, I mean, it was like a little later. I had never seen like Rick out past like 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so I was like, what are you doing? Like, no, it was it was absolutely insane, man. Always good beer, always good time. That fucking game, man. You throw that shit over it was like a beer pong that you throw over the. Yeah, that was challenging, and it didn't lend itself to drinking much.
No, you had to concentrate.
But it was weird. It was fucking hilarious because everybody coming through and trying their hand at it. And,
I didn't tell you the subtitle of the game. So the game is called Jack and the Beanstalk, and what you do is it's beer pong, but there's a beam in my house. We have to throw the ball over the beam. You can only score if the ball goes over the beam. Now, and then if the ball starts bouncing on the table, you can't stop it, so it can still bounce in one of the cups. So the subtitle is "Waiting to Exhale," because everyone's just like.
Yeah.
It's fun. Anyway.
So we'll introduce our guest today because they're going to tell us what the hell we're drinking on. If you haven't, if you've never listened to this podcast, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know what brought you here this time, but we have some familiar guests on. They were on episodes 32 and 53 live at their fine establishment, and this is the first time in the studio, so we're excited to have them, on our grounds, and they've got an array of tasty beverages here for us. So we're bringing on Gary and Andy of Hitchhiker Brewing Company. Say what up to the people.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, guys.
That is that was about as that sounds about right.
Good.
Yeah.
So, what have you brought us, gentlemen? What are we drinking on?
Yeah. What are we drinking on?
Yeah.
We brought a bunch of crowlers of various beers. So
Do you say crowler?
crowler, yeah.
Crowler,
It's a real creative term for a canned growler. Lots of creativity in this industry. So whoever made this product up, I think it was Oscar Blues, decided to call it a crowler. So it's just basically a big ass can.
Okay.
That we do on site at the brewery. So we have a bunch of different shit. We have.
Well, what do you want to start us on?
Yeah.
Take us through your journey.
Let's start with a kind of a new series, something different than we didn't do the last time you were out. It's called Hole Punch. It's a pineapple IPA, but it's brewed with milk sugar and vanilla bean as well, in addition to the pineapple. And then hopped and dry hop with Mosaic and Motuaka hops. I know how you love those hop names.
Whole punch. I like that.
Yeah, it's like, whole milk and fruit punch. I don't know. Like I said, creativity in this industry is off the charts.
The 5-year-old in me just thought like you did like a hole puncher, like you're punching someone's butthole.
No, I did think that
too. Most regular people would be like, "Oh yeah, it's like a hole punch. Like you can punch holes like in paper." They're like, "No, buttholes, right to buttholes for me."
It smells delicious. So you guys, the can thing, that's fairly new.
Oh, we've been doing it for what? A little over a year. Yeah, November of last year.
Can I express that I love cans? Like whenever breweries do cans,
Oh my God,
it's just so much better.
You can drink out of that.
I know. I wasn't sure if we were. I guess I could just do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Take it to
shotgun.
the- you can take it to the face.
Shotgun that as well.
Cheers, then, gentlemen.
Cheers.
That is juicy and delicious.
Thank you.
Oh,
Ooh, it is. Oh.
and that's an IPA.
Yeah, well, I
love
mean,
it.
kind of. I don't know what they're called, like milkshake style beers.
Yeah, I mean that's like the hazy. You know what I mean, like that juiciness. Like a lot of people like are afraid of IPAs because they're like they're hoppy and like they're like I don't but these really lend themselves to like it's almost like a gateway IPA. You know what I mean? Like
It is like a juice almost.
it's very
really-
juicy.
yeah.
Like it's
smooth.
delicious. You know what I mean? And like it balances out like the hops or whatever, but you still get that flavor in there. And it's like
Like if I was really thirsty,
yeah.
I could actually just like glug a couple. Like I don't have to just like sip a little bit, and I can really like drink this.
Yeah. There's definitely like a porch beer. I mean, like what I mean, you can mow along with this.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is summer in the glass.
Yeah, this is like you're driving down the street and you want to drink a beer while you're driving. Because it's nice outside. That's
Those fit in a cup holder too, actually.
very perfect.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I can hold two in my cup holder right now, so they're just right. And that's a little Hyundai, so.
So you guys recently expanded, right? Because I mean, from what I heard, it was a little birdie. I don't know, the front page of our local paper told us you guys were expanding. You guys want to tell us about that? Because last time we saw you guys were still trying to get somewhere, and now you're somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just recently started the expansion project over in Sharpsburg, so super excited about that. We fortunately found an amazing building. It has a lot of brewing history from Pittsburgh, so it's part of the old Fort Pitt Brewery, actually the old steam boiler plant.
That's awesome.
And it's about 12,000 square feet. We're in the process of pretty much just finished demo this morning and starting to build out this week. So
A finished demo.
So
Yeah, 330-yard dumpsters, pretty awesome.
Are you moving all your stuff from your current location to that one, or are you opening a second one?
So Mount Lebanon will remain basically a satellite tap room.
Okay.
Production will stop there, and then we'll have all production at the new site.
So Andy won't be down there in the basement much like.
We didn't say that.
One of the few times I get to leave is to come out and do these sorts of things. So it's appreciative. He's pretty nice and generous in that regard.
That locks us in the basement.
You know, it's great because I left the equipment there the last time, and I went to pick it up, and like Andy was just down there, like in the mush, just churning away, like it was very slavish. And then I was like,
times have changed, man. Yeah. How's that feel?
Yeah, go from having 7-foot ceilings to 50-foot ceilings. It's definitely a welcome change.
That's great. So, are people going to be able to? You're going to have. I'm assuming you're going to have a tap room in that location too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have a new at the new location, Sharpsburg. We'll have a tap room, production facility, and a decent amount of space for barrel aging.
Nice.
Really looking forward to that.
I love barrel aged stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to get some Hennessy barrels.
Man,
we got to be a part of that. We need to be around.
So I was on my way here, and I stopped at the liquor store to get a bottle because when you come out to we all brought something, and I was like, Day and Ed usually drink Hennessy, but I was in Lawrenceville though, and there was like I walked in, and there was like the register guy was like an older white guy. I was like, I'm not buying Hennessy from this motherfucker. not today.
I was shocked when you had the bag. I knew for sure. I thought it was a bottle of Hennessy. It kind of looked like the shape of a bottle of Hennessy, but I was surprised to see the 4 roses, which I absolutely love.
Well, yeah, we should. Can we? Yeah, we can pass this around. We just drink that right out of the bottle, right?
I'm down for that.
Yeah, let's do that. Or get some of that.
So what is it like converting? That into the space, because I know, like, with the breweries and whatnot, like, there's, with the history behind it, there's remnants of that, like, that you keep, and it's almost like, some of these breweries, like, they're almost like museums, almost in a sense that, like, you go down to Grist House, use Meat House or whatever, yeah. And then like up at Butler Brewers, they got the old building that they've chopped up and put into the new one or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like, what kind of what are you guys doing with that space? So
this building was originally built in 1906. Throughout the years after Fort Pitt closed, I guess in the late 1950s, yeah. It was converted for a number of different business uses. So it was some sort of light manufacturing organization, had it for a while, and then most recently like an automotive repair type company. So over the course of those years, they had changed the building for their needs. So basically we went through and pretty much gutted everything out, brought it back to original.
Cool. That's awesome.
So
now, I don't know if you're open for ideas. What if you found like a really old guy, right? And you asked him what Fort Pitt Brew actually tasted like, and then tried to duplicate it or something, or maybe even named one of your beers after it or something. That's
Andy's
homage,
job.
Andy.
So Fort Pitt is actually it wasn't owned by anyone up until recently, and they actually remade one of the original recipes.
Okay.
It was fucking terrible. I don't know if it was symptomatic of who made it or if that was just the times.
It's a shitty beer.
Because like reading the history of like what Fort Pitt did and like the beers they were interested in, it seemed like they were above quality in like science. So like at the time they did like all these progressive things, like use stainless steel, which was like an unheard of thing for a long time. And they started canning. They were one of the first breweries in the country to start actually canning beer. So they've always been like technologically forward. And like all their advertisements would brag about the brewmaster and how fucking smart he was, and he was from Germany and or like worked in like Pilsen and in the Czech Republic that's famous for pilsners and all this. So it seems like they were about quality, but anyone that I talk to that's ever had it seems to say it tastes like piss. But I mean, it's like it was remade in the 70s and the 80s. So like I don't think I've met anyone that actually was alive in the 50s to fucking drink it. But I would love to get my hands on like an actual recipe, because all the research we've done, I mean, there's a lot of advertisements that say what the beer is, but it doesn't say like it's this malt and this hop and that kind of thing. It's just like Fort Pitt special, like all this stupid 1920 fucking advertisements that you don't have to like proclaim what's in a product. It's just like
4 out of 5 doctors recommend Fort Pitt Brew instead of Iron City. It's good for you.
Actually, we were going to ask you if you could do.
I can do that for you. I can do that. We'll do all the voices.
So here's I don't know if you wanted to maybe describe this to the listeners. This is a view of our new electrical panel.
That looks like it's basically a fire hazard. I mean, it's a good thing that your building is made of mostly cement and steel, because that is crazy as fuck. Did you find like a colony of spiders in there?
Dead pigeons. Lots
There
of
were
dead
pigeons?
pigeons.
Lots of dead pigeons, yeah.
That still actually live in the building.
I was wondering, like, were there hobos? Like, how was that eviction process?
This is what I imagine whenever in the Christmas Story his dad goes to the basement and is screaming. That's what he's fucking with.
If you walk in and you see that, if your car breaks down and you walk into a building, you see that, you're in Jeepers Creepers.
Here's a picture of the outside as well.
Yeah, so that big ass smokestack is
that
where
is
all the
fucking
pigeons
gorgeous.
get in.
Yeah.
There's a whole family.
Did you have to send a poor boy down there to clean it? Like, how did that?
I cleaned all that shit up.
You got to clean it?
I got to clean it
Really?
up.
How many dead pigeons did you find in the ceiling?
At least 2 dozen.
That is insane. So with the old beers or whatever, like, is it just, were all old beers shitty? Is it one of those things that with technology they got better? Because you age things or whatever, and I'd imagine like liquors are fairly the same. They got it but beers, the older beers. I mean, is it a matter of technology and like that makes them better, or were there like good beers in 1920?
I think there were definitely good beers, but I think it's like technology has just progressed and evolved. So like consistency probably wasn't a thing. Like regardless of how big it probably wasn't the most consistent, because there's a lot of like science, and like even still today, from a science standpoint, we know absolutely nothing about beer. You'll read a book that's like, for example, it's on hops, and it'll cite all these scientific studies, and it'll say, this scientific study said this, and then you'll read 100 pages, and then there'll be another study that found the exact fucking opposite of what you read. So you read, and it's like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I've been fucking up for the last, 3 years. And then you read 100 pages, it's like, oh, well, I don't know what to fucking think now.
That's because it's not science, it's alchemy. Like, you're turning, fucking, like, a fucking plant into delicious fucking gold.
You're turning spoiled plants into...
Yeah, it's spoiled. Like it's absolutely, it goes against any sense like whatsoever.
Yeah, you're like getting things like the malt is like gotten wet, and then it's allowed to rot, and then it's toasted, and that's what you use.
It's insane.
Yeah, like the first person to do that was insane.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, I think, look over there, there's a pile of gross rotted shit, and I'm going to toast it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to make it into a drink.
I'd imagine like that's how beer started. Like some bread got rotten.
Exactly.
And somebody was like,
there's mold on this. I'll drink it.
Yeah, like,
they probably ate it and they got fucked up. They're like, that was awesome. You put more water on that bread.
So if you're listening, eat wild shit, and maybe you'll invent the next thing.
Definitely do that.
There's definitely a lot of discoveries out there, especially when it comes to alcohol.
Just start pouring water on food and leaving it.
If it's wet and old, try it. All right, so what's the next one we got on this list?
I don't even know. I mean, let's try the beer that you named, basically. So the first time we had this beer, like the very first time we had it on tap was actually the last time you guys were out at our place, which is a different animal. And you guys fucking made fun of it, and it evolved into a whole nother animal.
That was episode 53. If you're listening, check that episode out.
As at the very end of the podcast, so everyone was very drunk, but it was a great idea. So we decided to take that beer. So normally it's a Kettle Sour, like 5.4%, and it's just dry hop with Citra. We boosted the ABV, so it's 6.8, and it features apricots and then Mosaic and Citra hops. So this is your fucking idea that came to life.
So this is the result of them being dicks to you guys.
Basically, yes. Them and Alex.
This is like live art. Like, this is That's what I love about this because you never know where a conversation is going to go. You never know how what's going to come of it. And then a friend of mine, Mike Joyce, shout out to the Joyces. He hits me up. He goes, "Hey, did you hear? They got a whole other animal on tap." I was like, "Wait, what?" So this is my first time actually having it since it's been out. So apparently you guys are just shipping that, you guys are running out of this shit on a regular basis. Like you can't keep beer down.
That's great. I mean, pretty much if we do something new and different from our usual lineup, it's gone in less than a week. So
this is delicious.
It goes pretty quickly.
God,
Thank you.
Yeah. Is this a sour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a kettle sour. So we talked about it before, just a bacteria that's common in yogurt called lactobacillus is responsible for souring it. So it just produces lactic acid during fermentation, kind of like yeast produces ethanol.
Right.
This produces lactic acid. So we let that sit for a bit and then boil it to kill off the bacteria that's in there or anything else that might be in there in terms of impurities. Pump it over to the tank and ferment it like any other beer.
That is delicious. I love sour things. It's like it activates the same puckery things in your mouth as a lemon head or a warhead.
Yeah, it's very high in lactic acid, so definitely a lot of puckering, pretty low pH, and good for you digestively.
And it probably won't tear your mouth up like those sugar crystals, sour sugar crystals you get in a warhead.
Oh, man.
Oh, the roof of your mouth be all it'd be raw.
Yeah.
Your tongue would be like sandpaper.
Yeah. As a kid, you just eat 30 of them, and you're like, "Ow, this one hurts." I'm gonna keep going.
This is absolutely delicious. And I like the sours and the hops in there or whatever. And I found that it's a drink that you and your lady friend can drink at the same time. Women love sours because it's a bit more fruity and it's not as bitter, but you also don't feel like a bitch when you're drinking it either. You know what I mean? So you can find the common, and that's the key to a relationship: is find things that you can enjoy together. And this is a thing that you can enjoy together. So
exactly.
Take your girl down to Hitchhiker and get a whole other animal, and thank me later.
That 6.8% definitely helps too.
That's what exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 6.8, and that's what because the last we like to keep it 6 and up. As a guy, I like to boast.
I mean, I'm guilty of going to a place. I'm just going to look at the percentages and that one.
Yeah, yeah.
For the first beer, just for the first one, you establish a level.
Yeah, I like to go heavy first, right, and then I can enjoy a range of whatever. But I need to get there. Yeah, I need to get there. I need to. But this is like I said, when you pump this up to the 6.8, now you're talking. That's what I'm saying. This is you and your girl beer.
This is dangerous. I could drink a lot of this.
Yeah, the thing is we're limited by our system right now and the equipment. We can't make a lot of high alcohol content beer. So the next time that we do this might be on the new system. When we do that, it might be 9%.
Jesus Christ.
So
that's dangerous.
Yeah,
that's absolutely dangerous.
Maybe 10%. Who knows?
I'm going to quote Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. They were obsessed with the fact that they knew they could. They didn't stop to think if they should.
There'll be fucking raptors loose in the brewery when we release this thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that'll be dope. So with the sours, from my understanding, when you do the sours, whatever system that you devote to the sours, it's now a sour thing, right? Because the yeast is too, or the bacteria is too small, and it gets into the crevices.
You're exactly right. The thing with this is because it's all done on the hot side of the process, you can boil it all off and kill it before it gets to the cold side, where that would actually happen. So this is kind of like a cop out, as some people call it. There's another brewery out there here that says "Friends don't let friends kettle sour." That's a fucking hashtag when they post things.
Kettle sour.
So that's the process where we inoculate it in the actual kettle that it's boiled in. So all the bacteria is introduced into one vessel and killed in that same vessel before it reaches the cold side. So it doesn't get in those nooks and crevices and then has the potential to infect other beer.
So then why don't they say why not?
People think it's one-dimensional and it's a cop-out because it's not, traditional sour beer in some cases up to 2 years to produce, or even longer. So this is like a very quick turnaround. So it's not really authentic sour beer.
Most people
But
fuck off.
like,
Fuck off with that.
it's another fucking tool in the kit. Like, fucking appreciate for what it is. It's not as diverse as like a fucking lambic or a goose would be.
Right.
But
This
it's
is
still
delicious.
a fucking exactly. It's a tasty, refreshing beer, and at the end of the day, that's your fucking job. I don't have any regrets that it doesn't taste like socks and blue cheese.
Yeah.
I like those beers too. I like the funky shit as well. But I mean, this is a crisp, refreshing beer, and that's what it's supposed to be. So appreciate it for what it is instead of fucking creating hashtags about
Yeah,
it.
if you use that
Sorry.
hashtag, I'm
And
gonna
rant.
go ahead and say fuck you, or you ever use that hashtag before.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like they abbreviate the hashtag.
friends don't let friends Kettle
Yeah.
Sour. Shut the fuck up. Drink your beer.
Hashtag DTKS or some shit. Fuck off.
You fucking nerds.
Oh man, yeah, go fuck yourselves. That is some
Andy, I
pretentious.
hope your tires aren't slashed.
Oh, they might be.
I'll show that motherfucker.
Yeah, fucking break my windows
Tell
and
me to
pour a
fuck
bunch
off.
of goose all
It's a
over
Hyundai
it.
Accent,
Yeah.
silver. Hatchback.
It is a hatchback.
And
yeah.
there's a lambic sitting on your hood.
No, it's just an empty bottle.
Show this son of a bitch. Making fun of my hashtags.
Oh man, that does sound like some weird pretentious shit. That's the thing. I hate about the industry is that there is that pretentiousness. Like, I drink this. And I fell into it a little bit. My thing is that with the whole thing, like you can drink. Like, there's something out there for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like there really is a beer out there for everybody, and I think it is the assholes that fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Because if it's not like offensive and it's not a grown like a taste or whatever, like you don't just jump into craft beer. A lot of even IPAs. Like when I first got it, the very first time I ever had beer in any way, shape, or form, like I had a sip at New Year's, and I was like, this is fucking gross. Why would adults ever do this shit? Right? I mean, so it's it's an acquired taste in general. And then when you start to get into like the crazy flavors and whatnot, it's just like food. I mean, beer really is as diverse as any food, your palate, and that's why a lot of the brewers have some sort of like cooking or chef background or it's chemistry or whatever. Like, but because it you have so many flavors. So these and you're right. Like the ones that I do appreciate the IPAs and the hops and like you said, it was the tones of blue cheese and this, that, and the other. Like, but that wasn't day one type shit. But then you get these folks that are like, man, it has to be like this. If you're drinking anything else, then it's not unacceptable, and then it turns off a whole like group of people that are like, I don't like IPAs. It's okay not to like an IPA. It's okay not to like a Belgian. It's okay not to like a fucking red ale. I mean,
Yeah. Well, what's annoying is that, like, honestly, I used to drink craft beer all the time. Like, probably like 2005 or 6, I just got like into craft beers, and then everyone started kind of doing it, and it was like, I'd be at, say, like Smoking Joe or something. I'd be like, hey, man, do you have this? And they're like, no, sorry, we're out of that now. I'm like, well, that's annoying because now all these other assholes are in here drinking it. And then you listen to somebody next to you, and they're like, oh, yeah, I can really taste the notes of this and that. And that's fine. But, like, some people really take it too far. And I think that turns off other people who would drink, other, like, I don't know, like a wider variety of beers or beer at all. Just from being like a dick, like quit being pretentious about it.
Yeah, especially like if you're gonna introduce people, like that's what I love about the podcast, and that's what I love about like what we're doing or whatever, is that like I love going to breweries and like having people that are like, I don't really I don't even really drink beer, or I don't really like craft beer or whatever, and introducing them
That's the best.
to like something like this. Like is absolutely like it's fucking amazing. They're like, wait, I didn't know that beer could even taste like this. Doesn't taste like beer. You know what I mean?
When you see someone's eyes light up and you're like, oh, you don't like beer? Try this. And they're like, oh, maybe I do. Like, that's awesome.
It happens a lot. I mean, when people come in, one of our jobs is obviously to educate them and inform them about what's out there, and encourage them to try different things and have a great time doing it. Mm-hmm. I mean, without people that come in that are willing to experiment, try something new, I mean, the whole entire industry and scene would be completely different than what it is.
We'd all be making light lagers,
Right.
Or like IPAs
With rice.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like,
if they use
Right. Yeah, if they can do that.
yeah, and there's like there are new people that are like introduced, and they'll try something, they'll find something they like, but it's like just like a really simple wheat beer, and then there will be someone pretentious next to them and be like, well, that's not really good anymore, because like they think they're above and beyond. Like there's a curve that I think like people go through as beer drinkers, where you start and you enjoy the simple things and the different things that you haven't tried before, and then you get a little bit pretentious because you think you know what you like.
Oh, yeah.
And then as you progress as a drinker, you find out that you actually really enjoy the stuff that kind of got you into it to begin with, but you also kind of want to experiment and branch out. But there are definitely so many fucking pretentious people that think they know what they're talking about, but like, we fucking do this for a living. You guys fucking do this as well. I know fucking nothing about it. I'm a certified fucking beer judge. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't.
Every day is a fucking learning process and experience, and you evolve as a drinker, and you just need to accept that and sit back and fucking smell the roses and enjoy it, because it's not a fucking limited release. It's not 5 stars. Like that's a bullshit part of this culture right now. Like, people just need to appreciate beer for what it is and not expect everything from it. It's not always going to be the fucking best beer that you ever had, but is it going to be a drinkable and enjoyable experience? Fuck yeah.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that we drink this to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Like,
Yeah.
it can be an experience where you're going for that. I mean, when I go to a brewery, I'm there to experience, what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But every other night that I'm doing something else, like, I want this to be here while I'm having fun. This is like the vehicle to that. I don't want to sit here and analyze this.
Yeah.
The whole, like,
That's our job.
Exactly.
We're
That's
supposed to
what
fucking
you do.
dissect
You
it.
put it in there.
You fucking enjoy it and have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. I want to be like, okay, and no, that's good. Anyway.
Yeah.
Then just sit and stare at this fucking beer for half an hour and talk about it. Fuck you.
Yeah. Nah,
How many bubbles are on the top of that?
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Oh, the bubbles are a little loose. They're not as tight, so they must not have had a good fermentation. Like, that's the type of shit that people go nuts for. They look at the bubbles and they dismiss a beer if the bubbles aren't fucking tight enough, because they think it's symptomatic of a beer that wasn't fermented well.
I'm not a violent person, but like that makes me
If
angry.
you ever say something like that at one of my shows, I will kick you out.
Yeah.
I will most assuredly. You will be ejected.
The laughs were not close enough together. It wasn't that funny.
I wish you could send adults to their room. What did you say? Now go to your fucking room.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Go think
time
about
out.
that. I don't
Time
want to see
out.
you
Every
anymore for a
brewer
while.
should have a timeout an someone has an untapped check-in that's fucking pretentious. You just fucking sit in a corner. You can't drink a beer for like 15 minutes, so you can fucking come back and appreciate it and chill the fuck out.
And it's one of those really short outdoor children's chairs. They're like almost touching the ground.
You have to sit in the corner and drink a Coors Light.
Or one of the chairs where their feet can't really, their feet don't touch.
Yeah, a really tall one. Yeah.
Like shit, I can't get down from here.
Swinging their feet, drinking a Coors Light.
So what's our next on the lineup here?
I mean, shit.
What else
I
you
guess
bring?
we'll.
What are these ones?
I like how every time they ask that, you're like, fuck.
I forget what we
Expect
brought.
to talk about us.
Let's do.
Yeah, I think we've had this on the show before, but this is a little bit different. So, Trial by Fire, which is our saison or a farmhouse style ale, whatever the fuck you want to call
I
it.
love this fucking.
This is a new iteration from when you had it previously. So, like, we made this beer for a long time. It's been a staple in our lineup, and we kind of tried every yeast in the book as far as we could do for like clean saisons. So saisons, some are fermented with Saccharomyces, which is regular brewing yeast, and some are fermented simultaneously with Saccharomyces and Brettanomyces, or finished with Brettanomyces. This is just pure sac. So this is a clean traditional saison, nothing fucking fancy, but something that you can drink year round. It'll make you fucking think of the summer and the winter. It just takes you to a different place and be delicious and poundable, and that's what this is about. Pause.
Shout out to Ed Bailey. Keeping the pauses. No, I love saisons. The first time I was at the brewery, you guys had like some iteration of this, of a saison. And
Yeah, it would be this beer. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like my introduction. I think Bloom was the first time I ever had a saison, and this was the second time that I was just like, this is a fucking like. This is an amazing thing.
This is really pretty crazy. The end almost tastes like a soda, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like a cream soda or something. I don't know. It's fruity and then soda at the end.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's like a little like kind of like lavender kind of kick, and that's the esters from the yeast. So like this beer, some beers like IPAs obviously showcase hops like brown ales, showcase malts or stouts, shit like that. This is all about the yeast. Like mostly what you get is just flavors and esters that are produced during the fermentation process. So like most fermentations, you produce beer in a very specific temperature range. With this beer, we let it go at one temperature and naturally rise up to whatever it's going to get to. And, the hotter it gets, the more kind of like lemon, lavender, kind of peppery, white pepper characteristics that you get from the yeast.
Actually, it's kind of like the end tastes like almost like a sarsaparilla or a root beer, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah. That's the soda that you were talking about. Like it is. It's like flowery and like for me, the summertime type thing. Like a spring, going into summer or whatever type. Because it perks you up. And it just like, puts you in a better mood. I mean? Almost like how to like aromatherapy, potpourri and all that. Like, I mean, like it's kind of like one of those. Like it hits you in the senses like that. You're like, oh yeah, life ain't that bad.
I was on my way over here. This is kind of not the same topic at all, but I was thinking, I went to your website and I was looking at the names of the beers, and I was like, it's like you gotta be pretty creative when you're probably thinking of the names of beers, but also when you're thinking of what you're gonna do. And I'm thinking, what inspires you whenever you to create? Like, is it like everyday stuff where you're at the store and you're like, nah, fuck, this fucking guy cut me off in line. I'm gonna brew up a goddamn apricot sour. Is that how does it work? What's the process?
This beer in particular example, like the name. Like sometimes you just hear things and you're like, oh, that would be a good beer name. So like I literally have like a notepad on my phone where things are stashed away. But like other times it's literally like, we're putting this beer on tap and we have no fucking name for it. So we just need to like figure something out so we can throw it, get it on tap and get it sold. But I don't know, it's kind of hard. I think it's the worst part of the process is I fucking hate naming beers.
Well, I think it's fun, but the first year in operation was totally crazy because we had a lot of different things we were rotating through. Once we kind of boiled that down and put sort of our core beer lineup together, sort of help structure our products moving forward. Now I think it's more where we're coming up with something, trying to figure out a specific reason of why we're brewing it, and then coming up with a name that's also going to be sort of complementary to maybe something that's going on in the business, or maybe there's something that's going on with the beer.
Like a news event or something. Or...
Yeah, something that happened to Andy at the grocery store.
Well, and that's dope because I remember the very first time we came down, like, and that's the first, I'm like, well, what is your staples, and like, what do you have? And you guys were still in that, like, this is all up in the air right now. Like, we're just making dope shit and, kind of seeing, what stick, what people like, and then that, we'll still develop that. And then, like you said, you guys now have your, your core. So, when moving forward, like when you're looking at like new beers, what is your inspiration for that? Like what, like, are you looking at trends? Are you looking at like personal inspiration? Are you finding like a dusty book, like after a long journey in the woods or something like that? Like what makes you think like this is the next?
We take some mescaline and we go out to the middle of the woods and we just kind of figure things out where we're going. But like we have a beer right now, it's called Woke. Kind of a little bit of cultural appropriation or whatever, but it's still, we kind of want to think
black dudes, we know.
Yeah, we kind of want to talk to something that kind of speaks to the political realm that we're in, but not be political enough where the people that would take offense to it.
I was about to say,
would
I would
actually
imagine
be able
that,
to understand what it was.
I would imagine that most people who come to your brewery don't know exactly.
It goes right over the head. Right over the head. The people that get it fucking love it.
Yeah,
it's just like
well,
95% of the fucking customers. That's right over the head.
That's because they're woke. They're mad woke.
Yeah. there might be that one guy that like one dude comes in and he's like, "What the fuck is that beer called?"
Fucking Googles it and figures it out. And it's like, I'm not coming back here. But like we try to like. He mentioned a name that was a little bit more direct, and it's just like we don't. We definitely have ideas, but we're a business and we want to separate ourselves from politics. So how can we kind of interject something?
Well, no, not just even the names, the types of beers that you're making. You know what I mean? Like, because you've got the sours and you've got IPAs and there's so many. There's so many fucking types of beers to make. You know what I mean? Like, and certain breweries, like, they'll specialize in, a style of some sort. And like you said, you have your core or whatever. But when you're looking at your seasonal rotation and you're looking at, like, where do I go next? Like, am I going to go a porter? Am I going to go, if I do a porter, like, what kind of spices do I want to put in? Like, what flavors? Like you said, you guys are putting in, Henny, you're trying to get a Henny barrel, which I guarantee we're going to be in the building for that. But, like, so, like, what, where do you come up with, like, this direction, like, because I'm not gonna, like, this is like this is the third time we've drank with you guys, and I can taste the progression, and it's absolutely amazing. Like, you have fine-tuned, you found, like, a niche, you found some confidence. Like, you're even, like, your hair is all different and shit. Like,
you see that? He trimmed up his beard.
He trimmed up the beard. And
no, that's not trimmed up at all.
Like,
no.
I've never seen him before. Now I'm imagining like back in the day, you were just like long hair, and it's like you're in the
exactly right,
in the basement,
right.
just
That's
like
exactly right.
exactly. Like, I didn't know he was Asian until now.
the beers are almost finished. Soon I can leave the basement.
That's why I had to clean up. That's why I had to clean up.
Is it pleasing to you? Like, it was.
How do you like it, master?
And now he's got, like, this crazy swag, like, front page of the paper, like. And with crowlers and shit, like, with custom hoodies, like, y'all balling out here. Yeah,
May I have a new waste bucket?
No. Not until you're finished.
Pretty much day-to-day conversations at work, for sure. No, but I appreciate it, because that's what we're about. We're about progression, whether it's something from a taproom standpoint, like improving the outdoor space or the indoor space, or finding this fucking crazy, amazing new space. And just like the beers, every single day we try to get better and try to be the best that we can possibly be. And I appreciate that, because I really think, especially since the last time you were there, the beers have really progressed a lot further along than where they were. Not to say they were bad before, but we want to be the fucking best. If someone talks about Pittsburgh, talks about this scene, talks about this industry, we want to be one of the first, if not the very first thing that people mention. So every single day we sit out and try to figure out how we can improve upon what we've already done to kind of build the following to get us to the point where we're expanding to a 12,000 square foot facility that's doing fooders and fucking barrels and mixed culture fermentations, all this crazy shit. We're just trying to be better than we were the day before, and I don't think that's something that we're ever going to change. We're looking for the next thing. We're trying to be the best that we can possibly be.
Just to answer your question more directly, Day, because Andy I don't know what he was talking about. So with regards to, like, the seasonal beers and things like that, we're coming into year 3. There are a lot of really cool beers that we did over the past couple of years that are going to come back. And, I think from a seasonal standpoint, we're looking at doing those things again. And then from a standpoint of, like, one-off type beers, brewing interesting things that we can find some interest in, and then hopefully bring those to a place that those could potentially be seasonal options as well.
But where do you find that interest? Like, are you, like I said,
what's the inspiration?
Okay. So,
what's the inspiration or whatever?
A really good example is, like, Andy and I collaborating on the idea of doing the Hibiscus Saison last year.
Oh, that
so
shit was,
the Hibiscus Saison was something that I pretty much bugged Andy for I don't know, 6 months?
Since we opened, pretty much.
And we decided to brew it eventually. As a result, it was released on Mother's Day, I believe, last year.
Shout out to moms.
It was a huge success. We brewed it, 2 or 3 more times throughout the summertime?
Yeah, you guys had it at Beers at the Berg when we bumped into you guys. It was absolutely... So were you just eating some hibiscus and was like, man, I want to drink this now?
I had a hibiscus beer at another brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was trying to encourage Andy to use that in one of our beers. So.
That's freaking awesome.
I love hibiscus.
Yeah, just to do
I didn't
something...
know hibiscus was a thing. I didn't know what the fuck it was, and then I drank it, and I was like, I love
It's
it.
delicious.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, and just, like, to take a different take, like, I honestly don't know where the idea came from. It's just, like, there are times, like, I always think about beer, and it's like, I might be watching, like, fucking Chopped on Food Network, and, like, someone will pair something crazy and be like, oh, okay, well, that might make a good IPA or some shit like that. But it's just like, I don't know, always trying to think of something that's progressive and different, not to do, because like my whole hesitation with doing the hibiscus beer is there's a lot of people that do that. And it's, it's just a straight up hibiscus beer, and that's fine.
That's
and that's
how I
good.
know I don't know shit, because I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what hibiscus was.
Right.
And then, when I had it, I was like, oh shit, this is a thing. You know what I mean? So like, I didn't know that the people were even doing it.
But just try to switch it up and make it different and make it our own, where it's not something that you can go down the street and get, or get at a distributor or another brewery in the area.
Well, that's the beauty of art. And what we do or whatever, even as a comedian or, like with the podcast, like everybody has a podcast. Every fucking body has a podcast. Everybody's a comedian. Everyone just has a joke or whatever. But I grew up. I watched the greats. I watch other comedians. Like I have an idea, and I get, certain cues and different, like things, or whatever. But then I make it my own. And that's because there's no new idea under the sun. Everything has been in some, but. There's a difference between straight, like, you did this, I'm going to do that, or like, I like what you did there. Here's, but here's my, iteration of that. Like, and that's the beauty of like you go to different brews or whatever, even like, cause like the New England cloudy, IPAs or whatever, like it's one of those things, is a staple, kind of like, it's starting to become one of those things like everybody has. But every time you go to a different brew, it's a little, like this is our take on it. And it still makes it like, cause I love it. It's the hazy juiciness, like, and then getting the, and I think that's where you get your character. Like when on stage, we call it finding your voice. The jokes are going to be different, but like it's still going to be coming from the same place. And I think with the brews or whatever, and you go to certain breweries, the beers might be different, but they're still coming from the same place. Like
that actually leads into a question that I was going to ask you guys. Like, so what if you had to pick a beer that made you like beer? Because everybody goes through, like, if you're in college or high school or whatever, you drink beers and you're like, this is gross, but I'll drink it anyway. But like if you had to choose a beer where you're just like, oh wow, I really like that, I think I'm into this now, like, because does that make sense?
Yeah.
Your first
your
beer
Your first beer that you liked.
Yeah,
it was your gateway. You were drinking it to like for taste and not just to get fucked up and forget.
I'm gonna say probably like 1998, 1999, maybe like Newcastle.
Okay.
Newcastle, that was my first.
But it was like
that
was what you could get at the time.
Right. Yeah, even still, like that was definitely up there as far as gateway beers is concerned. The first one is Victory V12.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a fucking 12% beer, and I couldn't believe that a beer could taste so good and get me fucked up at the same time.
Yeah.
Like more so than like any 40 could ever do.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of what started me. Like,
okay.
Victory beers in general. Another one is like they don't make it or at least they don't package it anymore. They have a wit beer called Whirlwind. Like those were the two beers that really started kind of get me turned over. Or before I was just drinking like Colt 45 to get drunk, and that's all I want to do. Or Hurricane or Laser. Like those were my beers of choice.
Laser.
And then like hanging out with some like more sophisticated, a little bit older adults, I guess, if you want to call them that. Like that was like, oh shit, like there's other things out here than just 40s that I can buy at the at 1 o'clock in the morning.
What was yours, Jared?
Oh, I might say Golden Monkey.
Oh,
nice.
Like you get a gold for
for
whatever reason, like because the 9.5, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah.
9.5. There are plenty of beers that are stronger than that that'll get you fucked up. But for whatever reason, we call it the monkey effect. You drink like 3 Golden Monkeys and you're fine, drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, if it's the spices they use or whatever, but whatever, some kind of reaction happens inside your body.
It's because it goes down so fucking easy.
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know, but man, you just
it doesn't taste like a 9.5%.
It does not. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave?
I love Golden Monkey. That's one of my favorites. That Voodoo Love Child. The Belgians. It was Blue Moon just because it was cheap. It was like $1. It was down at Hemingway's in Oakland or whatever. It was $1. It had the $1 Hemi, like the Blue Moon nights or whatever, and like. It was the first, like, I was like, I could put an orange in this, but they put an orange in it. And I was like, oh, this shit is, like, it's delicious. Yeah, I mean, like, and that's what I was saying, when you talk about, like, craft beer drinkers or whatever, or like, introducing people, like, that was my introduction. Like, it's not a craft beer, per se.
It was before.
It used to be, yeah. I mean, like,
Is that true or not true, Andy?
I think it's true.
It was its own independent thing, but and then,
originally, and then I think it was bought later.
Yeah, it was bought later.
Or it might have been financed at the beginning, but like I'm the same way. Like Hemingway's and then Panther Hollow Inn, like two places I would go in Oakland, and they would always have specials like on like I forget, like Panther Hollow Inn was like Thursdays or something like that, where you could get a pitcher for some absurd price. And
Yeah.
that, I mean, if we want to call that like craft, then I do consider it, because that's like the very first one that I had was like, okay, this is something different than just a fucking light lager or a Yingling.
It wasn't a Pilsner, it wasn't a lager, like, and Yingling was cool. I liked like Yingling compared to whatever else, but like Blue Moon was the first thing that like I was like, this is enjoyable to drink. Like, yeah, I mean, like this is very,
like look forward to having that. It's like I want to taste a Blue Moon right now. I
yeah,
just wanna
like
have a Blue Moon.
it was kind of weird. I was like, should I be liking this? Like, is this masculine enough?
Yeah.
It's like,
I think everyone has that same
they put an
struggle.
orange in this
Yeah,
bitch. Like,
it's
am I allowed to drink this in public? Like,
I don't have scurvy. I don't need this citrus.
but like from there, like you like you said, like and on the lines of a Golden Monkey or whatever, that whole Belgian thing or whatever. Like I still love, and then when I knew that you could even have a 9% beer, because the only other 9% beer or anything close to that was a malt liquor. Like I had a Camo, which I think was like 13%. The Camo, remember
Jesus
the
Christ.
Camo? Those were nothing but bad decisions. You know what I mean? Like, so the first time I saw like a 9% beer, I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't want a DUI. Like, I don't. Like, that's not my life anymore. Like,
It's a 9.5% beer that you don't end up with something taped to you.
it doesn't come in a brown paper bag. Like, the fuck is going on here? Like, I get the shady eyes. Like, what's going on here? So, when are you guys? What is your trajectory at? First, let's get into the next selection here before we get into it.
Do woke conversion? Yeah, let's do conversion. So conversion is like a flagship staple, whatever you want to call it, which is basically like our gateway beer.
Yeah. So this is the weed of your beer.
Basically, yeah. This is the weed of our beer, 4.5%. So it's a blonde ale. So traditionally, it's like a really boring ass beer. It's just basically like the ale version of like a Pilsner. But in this particular case, we dry hop it, which is something you would normally find in IPAs. So we dry hop it with Amarillo, which is like a hop that you would normally find in IPAs. So it's something that's like, if you're a first time drinker and you want that Miller Lite experience and you're not necessarily into it, it gives you that sense of that same beer, but also goes beyond that to kind of give you a sense of the other flavors and offerings that are out there to maybe potentially branch you out. So hence the name conversion, which very, like I said at the beginning, very creative, very creative.
The gateway beer.
So someone drinks it, they're like, "Oh, this is good," and there's something else that I like about this. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah. Let's continue that conversation.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like hops, and then someone will have this, and this beer is very definitively hoppy, but it's to a subtle degree where it's not giving you the same bitterness that you get out of an IPA. It's just giving you that flavor and aroma characteristic that you can get from hops without getting that bitterness that kind of turns people off because they'll try their first craft beer as an IPA.
Okay, yeah. It is not bitter, but I can taste the kind of the floral hoppiness a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. Amarillo is a very floral, very lemony like hop, a little bit of grapefruit. So you get that just a little bit, but you still have that kind of malt characteristic to back it up. It kind of gives you the same level of familiarity that you would have with a Pilsner, but something that's a little bit more progressive.
And at the end, it kind of, even like you said, as if you were drinking on one of those lighter beers, it kind of drops off at the end. There's not a strong.
Yeah, it doesn't have that strong like bitter aftertaste that sits for whatever it lingers. You know what I mean? And that's what like a lot of the first time like craft beer drinkers they complain about. It's like, oh, this is bitter, and it's like
I can still taste it.
Yeah,
I just swallowed it. I can still taste it. No, this does definitely like mimic the kind of, because you drink a Coors Light or something, it's like you take a drink and then that's it. It's gone.
It's gone. It is. The experience wasn't enjoyable at all. I mean, it's a very short dick experience. Like I mean,
this is not that, but that is
that's what I'm saying. Like that, like Coors Light. Like that's what. I mean, there's just nothing to it, and I mean, really, literally, like I think it was, what is it, like 3% or something?
4.2. So this is 4.5,
and
so
like
a little bit stronger.
With this, you can actually, like I said, this is a summer type of like a session on
the porch in fucking February when it's 70 degrees out. This is kind of
exactly This is a nice business lunch beer. You know what I mean? Like you have a little bit, get a little loose. Depends on how, who you work with. I don't drink around my coworkers. Fuck them. I don't like them to know that I like do things outside.
I'm the same.
I don't drink at work at all.
I mean, I drink all the time at work. I'm not gonna lie.
We don't drink at work.
No, never.
No.
I can't imagine.
No.
It would be really inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's a write up when you do it.
Yeah.
But this is actually the flavor in there is amazing.
I like that. Look, at the risk of that's what she said. Like while it's in your mouth, you can taste it, but once it's not, you can no longer taste it.
That's what she said.
There's,
Sorry, that's all I got. I'm done.
I lobbed it up there for you.
Yeah, sorry. I realize. I appreciate that. Thank
Swing
you.
away.
Yes, I did. I went right for it. I didn't even let Andy have a chance at it.
No.
So
the end of rookie of the year, just
You gotta go for it when you got it.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's your trajectory on the new spot?
I mean, that's a tough question. I'm gonna say we're gonna be brewing there hopefully in April. Maybe open in early June.
Cool.
At that location.
So what are some of the new hurdles that you need to face? Going from, I mean, like I said, like we first met you guys. I mean, like literally, like we did the beer tour, like the brewery tour, and it was like 35 seconds. I mean, so now you're ramping up like on a huge scale. Like, what are some of the things going from that to that like you're looking forward to? Or
I mean, obviously you have the normal stuff, which is just straight up construction nonsense. Equipment installation and that kind of stuff is definitely more intense at this level. Really just like, figuring out
Equipment we've never used before, like
Yeah.
steam boilers and gigantic lake hall chillers, and
yeah, I mean, there's a lot more support, that comes with this equipment as well.
when you buy a big piece of equipment like that, does that come with like a person where you're like, how does this work? And then they're like, oh well, here I'll show you.
Most of the stuff has no like significant instruction manual.
like,
No, it's like, okay, I'm gonna drink like 12 of these beers and figure this out. And I'm gonna sit there and look at this thing until I can figure it out.
Or you have to seduce another brewer who uses it already. You're like, hey man, you want to have some beers? By the way, that big vat,
It's
that's pretty crazy, right? I use it all the time. You do too, right? How do you use it?
what does this valve do?
Yeah, what is that? I never used that valve. What is that valve?
Why are these holes here?
what do you mean you want to brew right now? Oh my god! Okay.
If you want, we can. The power's already on.
Whoops! There's my hops. Oh my god! They're just in there now. Oh my god! What are we gonna do?
This is a very rapey brew. Brew rape. Rape jokes aren't
well. Thank you for having us on the show.
Say the R word one time,
really,
everyone leaves.
Not to blame the victim, but it is your fault.
His fault.
You did pop your tops.
No, it honestly the process is very similar to when we opened up in Mount Lebanon, but I mean it's at a different scale at this point.
Right.
I mean, there were similar things that when we opened in Mount Lebanon that were new. It's all about kind of overcoming those new obstacles and figuring a way forward. So
what are some things that you've learned through your process, and also what are some things that you learned from watching others process? I mean,
it's all attention to detail and managing what you're doing, getting something accomplished and moving forward. I mean, it's nothing different than that. I mean, just looking at a challenge and figuring out a way around it.
Has there been anything that's like where you get to it, you're like, oh fuck, like what's the most oh shit moment you've had?
There are lots of oh shit moments. I don't know.
And I mean, we're kind of at the beginning, so we're
with
gonna run
this
into a
right
lot.
now. I mean, fuck, I don't know.
Boiler
24
installation?
dead pigeons. That sucked. No, I mean, there hasn't been anything like that right now. I mean, I think when the biggest oh shit moment that we had so far was We have a very nice forklift that has been underpowered, and we have a steep slope. So we bought a bunch of new equipment, and when the equipment arrived, the forklift wasn't powerful enough to drive it up the incline.
I see.
So we had to grab like 3 dudes to push this fucking forklift to get the equipment into the place.
With a $50,000 tank on the forklift that was teetering.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean that was like one thing, but you figure a way around it, you know.
Yeah, because the forklift didn't make it, and then all of a sudden someone just ran up and started pushing the back of it. So like simultaneously,
I think
like
that was
3
me.
other
I
people were
think I
just
was
like, "Oh
pushing
shit!" Everyone ran together and pushed the back of it to push this.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Like a really dude moment where you're like, no, I got everybody. Come on, just push it. Push it. Someone's like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, Jude, shut up and start pushing.
That was me. I was
Right.
like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like the guy with the mattress, like with one hand on the mattress when he's driving down the street.
Yeah. That's pretty much like me all the time.
I got this. I got a hand on it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, what is the next thing that we're going in here? We've got 2 more here.
Let's go with a breakfast stout.
Breakfast stout.
So this is woke, which we talked about before. So this
Oh, I
is
get it. 'Cause it's a breakfast. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still like to go over like the average white person's head, I guess. So this is a stout that is brewed with maple syrup, and then it is conditioned on cinnamon, coffee, and vanilla.
Very breakfasty.
Very breakfasty.
Very breakfasty.
How strong is it?
This is 6.6%.
Okay. It looks like a breakfast stout to me.
laugh, Buzzy. That's part of this.
Let's see what we're working with here.
You're the fourth wall.
When Buzzy gets involved.
Oh my god! When you crack that, and you, like it's like I haven't even put it to my nose, and that caffeine and all that coffee kind of shit.
That'll wake you up. That has
Yeah.
a little bit less of a dose of caffeine as an average cup of coffee.
The thing I love about coffee stouts and porters is that they actually taste the way that they smell, as opposed to actual coffee.
Yes.
Because I'm not a coffee person. I don't like coffee. Because it doesn't. When you smell coffee, you're like, oh, that smells great. And then you taste it, and you're like, that's dirt. But like a beer with that's coffee flavored actually does taste the way it smells, which is fucking awesome.
I think we had this conversation. Was it at a party? I don't know.
Maybe.
You
I'm not sure.
know how like if coffee tasted the way that it smelled, then it would be
It'd be the best drink in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this roasted, cold pressed?
So the coffee is literally because coffee beans are so microscopic, like in terms of like they have a bunch of little pores all over them. So when you immerse them in liquid, you don't need to crack them or crush them or mix them with water. They'll naturally absorb the liquid that they're introduced into. So like we literally just put whole coffee beans into the beer, let that sit for literally just 2 days, and that's where all the coffee flavor and aroma comes from.
Nice.
Is that funny?
Yes.
We're on a comedy show right now.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I didn't find that funny at all.
It's
Coffee beans are very funny.
yeah.
Coffee beans.
More porous than me at 15 years old, I guess.
When they're roasted and the whole nine or whatever, you get a little bit of the bitterness, but like with this is it's more coffee and less bitterness. You know what I mean, like you said, it tastes like it smells.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, like as opposed to because when you roast a bean, apparently like it gives it that charred bitter taste. This is absolutely delicious.
It is good.
This is good for breakfast. If
Yes.
you're hungry and you got some eggs and some bacon, pair it with this motherfucking thing.
I just got the image in my head of like people in an art gallery just staring at like a jar of coffee beans submersed in water, and they're like, "This is very funny." And someone else says yes. It's very, very funny.
By Andy, obviously.
Yeah.
Artist Andy Kwiatkowski.
Yeah, he's standing next to us.
I can draw pretty well.
A mean coffee bean.
Give me a couple hours.
This is all very funny.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, and like it just because they're like I keep getting these little flavors. You know, like that's the thing I love about these beers is that like not only do they change flavor as they warm and and they, what I mean, you're drinking it or whatever, but even on your tongue, like as it like those flavors that you wash down or whatever, and then they start to arise, and that's what when you're talking about, they're like, oh, I can taste it afterwards. Like that's what you want. Like you want those to come in. There it is. You know what I mean? Like.
And sometimes the beer after you've had one sip, the flavor remains in your mouth, and then you have another sip, and that sip tastes different because you already have the flavor in your mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you can taste more of the notes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of progression because like this has a lot going on. I mean, Vietnamese cinnamon, Madagascar vanilla, Mexican Hutasco coffee, and the maple syrup. So there's kind of like in addition to the malt, which is very complex, there's different caramel malts and roasted malts that are in there that kind of give like the supporting cast, but you have all these other flavors that are meant to build upon that base to kind of change as you drink it.
Why is the Mexican like beans and all that, like why is that like that? Like because
it's because we don't have a wall yet.
Is that
They haven't been sent back.
I am sorry. I could not go there. I'm sorry.
It's like we gotta use them while we can. 'Cause we're not gonna have them for very long.
they married into the beer industry?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a 25% increase.
Yes.
Goddamn Mexican beans are stealing all our beers, man.
There's the American beans that are out of work.
Some may say the American beans are lazy. I don't know.
The American beans are lazy.
I don't
Lazy
know.
and stupid. Just in the middle of the country, though.
No, but like I mean that it has like that wild like kind of I don't know how to describe it. Because it's like a spiciness, like a fiesta in your mouth, like I mean that.
Pause.
Pause. Like it is weird because like I keep saying, and it tastes as if because when you drink when you eat Mexican food or Spanish food or whatever, and you have burritos and you have tequila or whatever, like this is spicy type of. And when I drink these beers, I feel like I'm like I get that same, but like nobody's like we put some habaneros in here or anything like that. Like I don't understand why I'm still getting that like kind of a spicy,
I mean, it's just like part of the type of coffee, and then I mean the cinnamon does definitely kind of accents that flavor a little bit as well. But like with a coffee that we use, we work with a 19 coffee company out of Washington, PA, and they just always have some wild shit going on. Like whether it's like a fucking tea made from coffee husks that tastes like cherries and tobaccos, which is something that we're working with right now and trying to figure out how to use and integrate into beer. But like literally like anytime we order coffee from them, they're like, hey, this is a new bean that's like fermented in honey and then it's roasted like a normal coffee bean would. There's always something crazy, and it's just like these different levels of flavors that aren't something that I'm used to in coffee, because like you mentioned before, you can get the aroma, but a lot of times you drink coffee and it tastes like dirt.
Right.
This is like actually you're getting the flavors that are supposed to be imparted by that bean, and they just offer some wild shit. And it's just like basically like I'll go to order a coffee and he's like, well, that's out of season, we don't have that, but we have this if you want to give it a shot. And then I'll make a pod or I'll cold brew something with it and try it, and then like he'll say there's all these fucking weird flavors in there that I didn't sense initially when I smelled it, but you fucking brew it and you cold brew it, and you kind of can sense what the flavor profile is or what they describe is there.
Right.
And then it's just trying to find a set of ingredients that matches with it. So like the pepperiness that you taste is kind of something that was like mentioned as part of the flavor profile of the bean. So it's like, all right, we're going to do something with cinnamon. Let's maybe try this bean in this variety and see if it pairs up well.
So you kind of built the beer around one of the particular ingredients.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. Like we used this coffee in a beer previously, and I was like, oh shit, this is kind of something that would be perfect for a breakfast stout that's kind of like in the same vein as French toast.
Right.
And that's kind of like the inspiration for this beer is making something that's like French toast, but still a beer.
Yeah, no, I mean, you get like a reduction and there's just a little syrup and throw that in, man, that shit would be amazing. So last but not least, Barbarian IPA.
Yeah. So something you guys have had before. This is the New England-Style IPA that we've talked about a little bit earlier, but this is completely different. So like when we first introduced this, it was kind of like a newer, different thing. A lot of Pittsburgh brewers weren't doing this type of style. And it's just something like everything else progresses and evolves and to make it something different than what it was when we initially offered it. So this is hopped with Mosaic and Eldorado hops.
I'm going to use this whiskey to clean out my glass.
That
sounds like a great idea.
Palate cleansing as well.
Yep.
Yes, let me get some of that as well. Yeah.
Is that the breakfast whiskey?
This is now it is.
Breakfast whiskey.
It is now a
yes.
breakfast whiskey. That is true. Yeah,
I'm going to try that as well.
These are one of those moments where I feel like a kid looking at myself as an adult. I mean, you ever be in a situation where you're doing some shit and you think about like what 12-year-old you would think about that shit?
Yeah,
like
all the time.
12-year-old me would be fucking impressed right now.
Oh, dude.
I'm cleaning my palate with some whiskey so I can have some barbarian IPA.
Oh,
like
dude.
this.
I make most of my life decisions based on what I think the younger me would think about it. Like I just bought Ninja Turtles art.
Yeah.
Like, to hang up in the house.
It sounds like a great idea.
Right. My 12-year-old me would be like, dude, fucking yeah.
Like
Spot
OG
on.
Ninja Turtles or like...
Like this is splatter art. Ninja
Okay.
Turtles, yeah.
All right.
It looks sweet.
All right.
I installed some puck lights to illuminate it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because like I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But it's still turtles.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with your jacket, I literally had a jumpsuit that said Vankman on it,
I had
and
the
I
same
would
one.
introduce myself to parents as Peter Vankman, Ghostbuster, when I was in 5-6 years old. So.
Dude, I literally
So
did
you're
the
a liar,
same
is what
exact
you're saying. You're a liar.
Yeah,
Yes,
at the
you're
time,
you're
yes,
a liar.
I was definitely a liar.
But aren't we all Peter Venkman though?
yes,
He's not that much of a liar.
No.
Like yeah, at that age we are all Venkman.
yes.
I think that's exactly what I like. I used to do the same, literally the exact same thing. So I think we can be friends now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was a
did you
huge
have
Ninja Turtles
ectoplasm?
fan as well.
Oh, dude.
But since
Ectoplasm.
what the fuck? Why can't I remember his name? What's the shitty director with all the explosions?
This is Michael Bay.
Yes, yeah.
Oh man.
Fuck that guy.
Oh fuck that guy so
Yeah,
hard.
fucking
Although
aliens from outer space. Fuck that shit.
although I have to say that the second film, had they released the second? Did you see the second one?
no, I didn't watch either. I refused.
Okay, the first one's terrible, but I watched the second one, and it almost hurts my soul to say this. If they had released that one first, I would have been fine with it.
Really?
Because it's got Bebop and Rocksteady in it. It's got like the Technodrome is in it.
Was it the last one
Really?
they just came out with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I took the boys to it.
Oh,
I
really?
mean,
yeah. It was like everything that as a kid, I would have been like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's
the kids
not-
liked it. I was like, eh.
Well, it's not a good movie. It's
No.
still shitty, but like it's better, much better than the nonsense. So there's like, who are you making? The first one was like, who are you making this for?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they're making it to make money, right?
Well, yeah, and I guess it made enough money.
It's
to make a second
unfortunate,
one.
but-
It really is unfortunate. Yeah, the show, however, I mean, this is. We can go off on this forever.
Dude, I still have the VHS tapes. I refuse to throw them away.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I bought one of the VHS tapes recently.
Of what?
Of Turtles.
I don't
the
even have a
Turtles cartoon show.
VCR.
Do you need a player?
cartoon.
You have
Yeah.
you
Oh,
need
man,
a player? You need an extra player?
I actually have one upstairs and one downstairs
All right.
in my basement. Yeah.
I have like
I
one
don't-
for sale
Oh really?
on Craigslist. It's really weird.
For
VHS.
$5?
I'm just kidding.
I want the game, man. I really do want the game.
I'm assuming they're gonna just edit all this shit out because
Because it has nothing to do with anything we're talking about.
No.
One of my life goals as an adult is to have the arcade cabinet in my house, like to have
Yeah.
the original 4-player. Because if you come over to someone's house and they have that shit in there,
There's nothing else you're doing. You're not
Right.
doing anything else.
right?
Like,
You're like,
I
let's
mean,
see how
that-
many quarters it takes us to beat turtles.
Yeah. I mean, like that's a friendship. That's a whole friendship. I
Yeah.
would be whoever has that. If you're listening right now, I will be your
we're not,
friend.
no, they're gonna edit all this out.
No, they won't. Hey, don't you edit this motherfucking thing
They're
out.
they're editing
I'm
all
trying to
this
find a new friend. Nigga, I'm 35.
Try to play
Friends
some motherfucking turtles on a cabinet in someone's house.
Yeah, me, I'm 35. Friends are hard to make. Turtles? Man. Yeah, listen, if you're listening right now and you got the motherfucking Turtles like arcade game, I will be there and I'll show up with some motherfucking delicious, juicy IPAs from Hitchhiker and we can be friends. We ain't got to talk. I ain't got to know nothing about you.
You're going to bring 2 other people because there's that person, you, and then me, and we need one other person. So whoever else wants to come, because you need 4 players. And I'm Leonardo. That's the end of the story. I'm Leonardo.
You're invited to everything we do. Just let me know. Let me know. I'm in there.
An important question I found as an adult is to ask somebody who is in our kind of age range, who's your favorite turtle? Because I think it tells a lot about somebody. It's an important question.
I would probably say Leonardo.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the same boat actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably Raphael.
Okay.
Just because he was more the badass, like kind of. I liked them all. It was great because I liked them all.
You like them. Everybody.
Everybody likes them all.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You want to hang out with all of them.
Yeah, I think Raphael because he was, he was tough. I think he was like kind of in the way that I looked at it was like near like on the same skill level fight wise as Leonardo,
right? And
that's why they had that back and forth or whatever. But he never could shine. You know what I mean? And there was always that little bit of a tension.
He's a loner, kind of. He's like the guy who's like, guys, I don't always want to hang out with all of you. Sometimes I want to be in my room by myself. And watch a movie. Or something.
Yeah, and he was like, like he didn't do the right thing all the time. Right. You know what I mean? And that was I guess he was the first like anti-hero. Yeah, maybe not the first, but like one of the. I'm a big fan of anti-heroes. Sure. You know what I mean? And I think he was Andy, who's your favorite turtle?
Donatello for sure.
Good, makes sense. Yeah, because he's Asian too.
Yeah,
and you're currently wearing glasses.
Yeah.
But
Andy is definitely Asian.
Andy is some kind of Asian. He's a mailman's son or something. I don't are there Asian mailmen? I don't know.
No, I've never seen an Asian mailman.
That's fucked up because my mom would always tell me I was the milkman's baby. That's real.
In Asia, there are Asian mailmen.
I don't think so. I think it's always a white guy.
Maybe Andy's mom went to Asia.
I think that every mailman in the world is a white guy with short shorts on.
Unless you go to Asia for the weekend.
Well, in America, we have black guys sometimes, but like everywhere else in the world, it's just white guys. Only ever.
Donatello. None of that makes sense. I mean, you're an alchemist, scientist.
Yeah.
Andy, please tell us what we're drinking.
And without you, none of this would happen. So that's exactly right.
Yeah.
What hops are in this?
Mosaic and Eldorado.
Eldorado.
Yes.
Mosaic.
Rocky Mountain High. Eldorado.
Does it pair well with peyote?
I haven't tried yet, but
I think everything.
If I can find a peyote source out here, then I will be more than happy to experiment and let you know if those things work together. I'm guessing they will.
Everything and nothing pairs well with peyote. You're like, this is great. Oh, it's horrible. Make it stop. Oh, it's good again.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, we thank you guys for coming down, blessing us with your craft, your alchemy, your fucking your magic, and hats and swag. I'm a big fan of the swag. Like, and anybody that knows me or whatever, if you've ever seen me out and it's cold, I usually have this hitchhiker hat on or whatever. And then they came through and they were like, "Man, we're sick of you wearing the same shit. It's the new season." So they came through with the new season hat. So now you're going to see me with the new season to the next season.
You got a hat?
I got a hat.
What the fuck?
There's hats in there. There's shirts in there.
Oh, shit. All right, cool.
You're the guest host. Look at you. Look what you walked into. I got
a new fucking hat. All right.
You empty-handed.
I didn't know it was all this.
Like I said, we appreciate you guys, man. And again, I just seeing the progression of what you guys have done, from the first time until now. I mean, shit, let's make this a yearly thing. I mean, that seems to be, what we're doing and whatnot. We appreciate you guys. Like I said, you were, one of the, the close folks that were just like, whatever we can do, when Ed Bailey went down or whatever, to help out. We really appreciate that. I can't say that enough. Shout out to Ed or whatever.
Ed.
We'll see you again March 18th.
March 18th, we'll be there
very shortly. But again, what you guys are doing is amazing, and like I said, I love what I do because I get this when you guys made the front page, I was like, I know those guys. I love it. I know those guys. So I love what you guys are doing, and can't wait to get to the new building, and we'll do it again there.
Yeah, anytime you guys want to come out, because it'll be a couple months. If you want to see the spot beforehand,
oh hell yeah,
we'll be living there or be in Mount Lebanon. So just hit us up.
Nice. Where can they find you guys?
So on Twitter, Hitchhiker Brew. On Instagram, Hitchhiker. I think I don't know. Just search Hitchhiker Brewing.
Just Google
on
that shit.
on any of that shit.
Hitchhiker Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know.
We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So it's like either Hitchhiker Brew or just Hitchhiker. I can't remember which one's which.
I think if you're listening, you should be smart enough to figure that shit the fuck out.
Yeah, you have a computer.
What about the yellow pages?
The
Where
yellow
are we at
pages?
in the yellow-
I don't think
yellow
we're
pages?
listed.
Everyone gets the yellow pages.
Yeah,
for
bro.
somehow.
Yeah.
So you own a VHS player, but you don't get the yellow pages
I have
still?
yellow-
Like,
no,
that's
I have yellow pages. I think it's Hitchhiker Brewing Company in the yellow pages.
I think you get the yellow
We're
pages whether
one-
you want them or not.
We're
People
we're
just- they just
190
leave them on your
Castle
fucking
Shannon
doorstep.
Boulevard.
Last time I dealt with yellow pages, I literally carved this section out and put cat poop in it and stapled it and put it back in the pile with the rest of the yellow pages. I was like 19, so it was all right.
Wow. You have a lot of time when you're
And then someone left it outside the apartment complex with the fucking page torn open and the cat poop all over the other yellow pages.
So somebody got cat poop on them.
And someone tried to look for something, got it stapled, opened it up, and found the cat poop.
It definitely worked. It worked.
It was fucking great.
Do not try
And
that.
I didn't
at
live there. That was the best part.
No, do it and,
Actually,
and submit
yeah, no.
your pictures to just tag.
Yeah, tag
Drinking
Hitchhiker
Partners
Brew
and
on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram, yeah. Tag all our shit
Do
on
not
Instagram.
do that. Do
Cat
not
poop
do
yellow pages, the next IPA we're making.
Hashtag cat poop yellow pages.
That's where the name
Buzzy,
inspiration comes
hashtag
from.
That's where
cat poop yellow pages.
I can't wait because 2 years from now, Mike Joyce is gonna be like, "Did you hear? They just released hashtag cat poop yellow pages. This shit is delicious."
It's a Pilsner. It's a Pilsner.
Asian inspired post.
It's very fragrant.
Aged on antiquated technology.
Oh, it's got to be a cask scale. All right. So, Jared, man.
Yeah.
where can they find you?
All right, you can go to grownuphumans.com. I totally forgot. I'm a terrible business person. You can go to radicaltrivia.com. I host trivia shows around town. I totally spaced on. I didn't say shit about it. That's the other thing I do. So just go to radicaltrivia.com.
Didn't you win the best in the city?
Yeah, we did.
Isn't that a thing that the city paper of Pittsburgh told you that you were the best at doing?
They did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said I'm the best at it. So yeah, come out and check it out. It's a lot of fun. If you have a weeknight or something, you want to come out and have a couple drinks, have me swear at you on a microphone. I'll do that for you. For free. Actually, it's always free. So come out and do it. Look up the different bars. Radicaltrivia.com. Check it out. Grownuphumans.com. Check out our podcast. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming, man. This is the first one. You got another one to go.
I know.
Yeah, you got another.
Trust me, I know. I just have to pee. I got to pee so bad.
I had to break the seal earlier.
We had so much beer. I had to pee.
Yeah.
You and I are kind of
Yeah.
we're the stronghold.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
You know, I broke that shit. Fuck it. If you're listening, you know. I'm Dave Bracey. I'm half of the hosting tandem. My partner, Ed Bailey, he'll be back soon. And if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, @partnerspod.
I love it. You every time your eyes go somewhere else, you just space out. It's just automatic. It's robot. It becomes a machine.
Thank you again for our guest host, Jared Evans, Hitchhiker Brew coming in with all the good shit, and Dave Bracey at Epicast Network, and shout out to Ed. And as he says, drinking partners of the crew, Epicast is the family.
Epicast.